Hydra is roaming around, possibly being rude to some of their roommates, so I may be having me lay away the time. Like, I'm probably not going to be playing this super long because this cut from I kept taking me goosebumps. It is said that with each gust of wind, the powdery snow blew in every direction. Robert Cleveland, Nasruk. So I'm trying to push it. Did it go back? Wait. Wait. But I saved. Alright, well, I guess we're doing it. I'm sure plenty of you are like, don't do it, but... See how this fox is sitting up on that box. It's on the bed right behind me. Like, maybe Pan doesn't need to be on the bed. And I'm like, maybe you don't need to be. Let's see. Nothing wrong with redoing things, it just gives you more practice. This game. See, practice. My pinky is like, don't mess with it. I'm gonna be, I BB downloaded, re-download books and waiting for me while I was doing lessons, language lessons. And so I'm gonna probably be playing that in a little bit, but that's gonna be an adult mode, and I'm very amused because I don't think this conversation is too dull. I went on ManyVids to check some stuff. Yeah. So last night I was looking at Joystick, joystick.tv, adult website. If you're under 18, you should be on. But I went on ManyVids to check something. It's like, hey, if you're gaming, you want a live game, live stream some adult gaming. And I was just like, everybody gets the same ideas at the same time. That's how it works.
Asi anip gini suna idukto sa gulong umaga.
Oh! Don't! Okay, I was about to be like, don't run him over!
Ibayak siya rolo. Sabat ko may halawit. Imanyarat. Bakit ka upiyo kayaw nga?
Which, who is Gina is gonna be really pleased. Am I stuck? Okay, I was about to be like, wait! So while I'm talking in the background, Mima or that's not what I did last time. That was fine. Or otherwise, I'm learning all these languages. I feel like I should continue to clarify that. So there's plenty of times where I might say things wrong. like new languages, all new languages were made illegal to speak by the colonial government for a very long time.
Ibeaksiaqalualluq utingaluq qillautiligaaquni. Uppikqupiatchapallugaluq. Aasiitamula piviittaqiliutipiallagaga ibeaksiaqalualluq. Tainnaquni aitsuutiqilaqangaluq. Uppit uqallaktuq. Uvvauna qaunagiingagiga iliginun pikitquvlugu.
I'm pretending that Goku. If we want to get real Goku about it, hold on. Because I've seen some people be like, look. That's too bad. I've seen some people though, like they put their foot down and it comes back up. But yeah, because the owl's there, I thought. So maybe it's supposed to go this way? No. Alright, so it's supposed to go this way. I thought because I passed the owl before, it was a checkpoint. And I could have sworn there was another one. Was it not? I guess not. I guess I should have just been like, oh, well, no, it's the owl person in this game. Who is she? Mudra, this is the game. Come to Jeech might be home. Whoa, come on. You can do it, Tiny Fox. Why it's being doing. I'm probably just mashing buttons instead of actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. I hope everybody's enjoying these games where I'm just like sitting here having a difficult time at times, but that's how that works. What am I missing here that you're not able to get up there? You got up there last time. No. Make sure I'm not missing any. Jump. Yep. There's no. That's fine. Just want to make sure I wasn't missing like a button to run faster. Got it. There we go. I didn't do anything different that time. I'm sure I did. I know every gamer, that's what we all say. So, before I continue, I've been working hard on being more mindful about everything in life in general, so I may also talk less on here. Everybody that knows me is like... Let's see if I can... like not looking at if I move the mouse, what happens? sounds like the fog's outside, but it's not. I'm supposed to hit this with the bola. Yes. I love you. Oh, that's the wrong thing, Miss Gale. Make sure that's not doing that. Okay. Don't go flying. Just in case, yeah, there it goes.
Tabrataina igilehotek. Libeaksiaruanum atoma uppium aichuta.
It's clear enough. I just want to be sure. Wind. Okay. Well, then it looks like. Am I supposed to bring you this? Oh. It's those Wildwood's powers. Powers of the Wildwoods. Alright. So my generally concentrated face is oftentimes. I'm working on not always looking like when I'm concentrating. Oh, escape. Do absolutely have pretty serious face, and the way my jaw gets can absolutely add to that. But I also have been having conversations today, as per usual. Ooh, this can't be. Catch the next one. What is that? Unless it's just on my screen. I think it's just on my screen.
Sila tayo nunakingata inyuhulok kasawag.
Wait. Possibly.
Inyuhulong tao kami nutkakuwa. Agala libeaksiaruano sa perinaksiman.
Ah! I it's not being strong. Thanks. So we're gonna repeat that. I'm sorry, that head jiggle was completely unnecessary.
Kinnalifsapiaq doktoru kami kilometer. Sabra ivaktani. Taudukai.
Oh. Galley. Look.
Annap khaslik kalwaktuk. Agalan iglaw niya si kakanaksisinyaktuk.
We got this, because life will provide. Following that, I stopped briefly and then became windy all over again. It was difficult to see anything in the blizzard. Robert Cleveland, Narsuk.
Malakogune uvulugune wisa uvuluti.
Yeah, their face sometimes makes me think of T-Bear from Wapus Bay, which if you haven't seen, you should absolutely see, because it's just like, it's one of my favorite shows.
The scariest I've ever been, I was 12 years old. We floated out on a piece of ice while we were duck hunting. It was a bluebird day, just clear blue skies, and there was 3 of us, myself, my brother, and my dad. Next thing you know, we see this dark shadow on the ice. We look and it goes behind us. So we all jumped up, startled, and my dad, he started running. We got back to the ridge there. The ice had fractured, cracked, and broke off, and we were floating away. We were drifting. It was close enough to where my dad would have made it. He stopped and he thought about throwing us across, and if one of us was on the other side, we would be split up. So he stopped, and he just so happened to have a cell phone on him. 911 didn't pick up. That's the worst feeling in the world right there. 911 did not pick up. So he left a message because they record their calls. Once he had relayed that information, his cell phone died. That was the scariest moment I've ever had in my life. We were floating away and I thought we were left for dead. He kept calm during this situation. He's bringing out everything positive in this case. You know, I'm crying, my brother's freaking out. It went from clear blue to dense fog. Within a couple hours, we heard the chopper flying around, so they must have gotten our message. We thought we were saved, and then the chopper sound went away. So we lit some of the sled on fire. It's plastic. We thought black smoke in the fog would create some kind of marker. Chopper pilot had mentioned when we got rescued, you could see a glow in the fog, and he slowed down there, and sure enough, as soon as he slowed down, we got within visual. That was definitely the scariest moment of my life, was floating away and not knowing what the outcome was going to be.
But that's life. Not minimizing their story in any way, but that is how life works.
Devra tuvaroa mutisitju.
Oh, that was a bad jump and escape. Learning. Well, Alan, wise. Who's I'm like, who's eating who? I see that red there. I wouldn't call it something that people it's a vicious one. Nesque, I'm a bratty sauce, like everybody knows. Haley! Haley! Wow! I'm probably breaking this up. It's probably not helping anything. I was waiting on you. I saw that. What's going on with the fox? Oh, I see. Woo. I'm saying I gotta switch. Oh, that. I didn't need that, so Walalo game is really nice. Wow, you're... Come on. Oh, what do you do? Alright, so I gotta lure you on. This is gonna be like a time where it's probably pretty obvious and not necessary. So we got the fishy ones there, so I gotta hit him and switch. Whoa! What are we supposed to be doing with y'all? Okay. Almost. What was that? Nope. Alright, y'all, I'm not pressing jump. I don't know if they're just like the fish are giving me the ability to really like fly into the air. And am I supposed to go with that? Because I feel like if I stay on them, I can get to where I'm supposed to be going. Okay, no, we switch
Pisasa ko may akalaw na lok. Anak ko bit. Pinatitaka bitchok. Kakame nanok, nikat jalay chap.
Okay, that's where I'm going to stop. I'm going to watch this though, because my hands need a break.
We're very much aware of the climate change. And it's been for many years, even before climatologists were noticing this change, Inuit were already saying, Sila alangoktok. Our climate is changing.
If the heat is going the way it is right now, for us it's going to be pretty bad. Different birds are coming, and they're coming earlier, and sometimes rain is more than what we want, because when there's more rain, we know it's going to melt the permafrost.
In my time as a young whaler, when I was 9 years old, we're hunting from ice that was about 25 feet thick. And there was giant icebergs already floating, coming by. That was the first signs of a changing climate. Ice that never broke before was now moving. Now, here it is 50 years later, we're hunting whale from ice that's 18 inches thick. There's no more thick ice.
It's creating a malfunction in our whaling season is what it is. Actually, more than that, all seasons in general.
I think we are more scientists than more people will realize. We have more knowledge of those things than people will ever know.
So I am going to finish this second, but I'm just going to talk on that. So there's been a lot of talk lately going on about, like colonial scientists are now understanding more and more about the Ice Age. And I'm not trying to be rude to anybody, but I'm going to point something out, which is like this information about previous ice ages and has been with indigenous people, and not just in the Western Hemisphere, but everywhere. So wherever you come from or are at right now, where your ancestors are from, everybody already knows all this. But once again, because of colonialism in different parts of the world, that information has been attempted to be systematically wiped out. It hasn't been, and you can still talk to people about it because oral tradition obviously comes first. There's been plenty of writing about all this. I think it was, I may have been talking about it in this video last, but Voices of Our Ancestors, Diani Hiwahu, she talks a lot about all this. But so part of it, and I know part of it is just, people are going through the process of no longer processing in a colonial way. But the thing is, literally from day one for the Western Hemisphere, when people came over to colonize the Western Hemisphere, they had already had people living on it for well over, I'm going to say well over 10,000 years, but I mean, depending on who you talk to, which is basically everybody indigenous, it's well over 20,000 years for understandable reasons. And the understandable reasons of why people would be able to say that is being able to track back the history of previous generations, because it's been talked about. Not to go super deep, but even the Bible, for example, people take that as fables. But the thing is, all stories are built in a specific way to give you information about what is going on in space and the ecosystem you're living in, so that way, and have lived in previously, so that way you can be prepared when those things happen again, even if it takes eons. So indigenous knowledge, indigenous science, if we want to use a science word there. And the thing is, I've never separated indigenous knowledge from indigenous science or from science, period. Colonialism has. But so for me growing up, the things that I was taught, not just by my mom, not just by my Nana, and not just by, people in my family, but other people around us, when I was lucky enough to be around other people where we could talk to one another without there being concern of the kids being taken away. Or, it was a regular thing for me growing up that anytime I spoke about not being extinct, and having an idea of what's going on outside of the way colonial things teach it, I would get detention, I would get threatened with suspension, I got threatened with expulsion, I've been beaten up so many times I can't count at this point, with very lasting effects that thankfully I'm still healing from. But all these things have been talked about previously. And so additionally, like this game came out a while ago, obviously. I need to check the year. But like now, being right now in Western Powhatan Confederacy territory, Monacan territory, so that would be in Virginia, right next to the Appalachian Mountains. And I do need to work on saying that properly instead of in the colonial way. It's already spring, like a month early, and that's been going on. The area is turning into a literal rainforest, and that's been noticed for a while, but once again, science has been kind of being like, oh no, nobody knows what they're talking about. And so if you find you're noticing that like colonial sciences is really, really big on being like, nobody knows what they're talking about except for white dudes, and that it, you know, like kind of removes the voice of anybody else from the situation, including and especially at times people outside the white male gender and race. I'm doing this with race because once again, white people made this, like they made race. Those things were not significant, or and they're still not significant, but they weren't significant, or trying to think of the word. It's not something that you would really take that variable into an account of how you would necessarily treat somebody, except for going, okay, so they may have a different culture than me, but not necessarily assuming that, because once again, like I come from a family that is mixed, so that means everybody looks different. If you go on to turtlegang.nyc and listen to Turtle Gang East, that is including also on YouTube. They talk about, obviously, like plenty of their family is very, very melanated, and plenty of their family is not, but that's part of mixing. And so like these conversations will be had, and everybody in the family though will generally have kind of a same-ish response given to them, depending on how melanated the person that is speaking these words is when they're speaking to somebody who is, you know, somebody upholding colonialism, be it the government or something else. And this includes sciences, because sciences get funded by the government, etc., etc., etc. So it's a very big vibe. I was going to say before, like I was just talking to Nikij, Ahnuj, my mom and my dad, about Raheem Damon Brown's funeral fund that's going on right now. And I will put it in the description so people can donate. Obviously, if you are underage and you need to ask your parents if it's okay to, then I do suggest doing so. It may mean that you may have a very intense conversation with your parents, and Meske, if that's the case. Quay, I'm not going to be doing this much longer, but you were just out. You notice, I don't know if you can notice, let me clear out of this first. So Control, escape, main menu. That was just a save, so I think we're okay. And if not, if I have to redo all that again, I think I'll survive. Wait a minute. Yeah, you can kind of see him. He's got his pee pad on as he's around. Well, his belly band. I don't like having to have him wear it, but he has certain times of day right now due to his stress and anxiety about things. He will literally just outside. I'll take you outside again. Investigate anybody that may have an intense conversation because of the funeral fund. Once again, colonialism teaches a lot of people that if somebody is melanated or anything else and is killed by the police, then too bad for them. But I don't believe in that, and hopefully you don't either, because otherwise, I mean, I understand there's people out there that still believe those things because colonialism's taught people that certain relations don't have rights, but they do, which is why, like, as they are telling me to go through puberty, I'm stepping free. But I'm gonna go take care of Moo, and then I'm gonna probably do some other work, but I will not be streaming on here anymore tonight. But I will put in the description shortly, because this will be posted. I'm going to put in the description shortly the fund. And we're on that side. Meske. Maltese. Casalo. Take care of yourselves. And please, if you can at least share the fund. They're only at 8% for the funeral fund. And they died 2 days before their birthday. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal anyways, but that just adds to it. So, the Maltese, take care and take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. If you're a light-skinned person, you're completely capable of, you know, like helping to make sure that BIPOC individuals can be safer. Do so. How can you do that? By extending the offer to be like, hey, I'm light-skinned, and if I'm there, somebody may not do something to you. And if they do, my voice may be louder than yours in the instant, so that way I can make it stop. It doesn't mean you have to be violent. You shouldn't be violent. And there will be more conversations about that another time. The Maltese.